At first, I thought she may have been really hurt or maybe even possibly mugged. But that wasn't the case. We're going to talk about it just in a second.
To thank our sponsor, the Adcock Agency. They specialize in home, auto, life, and commercial insurance. Call 601-507-8906 and ask for Eric Adcock. Coverage you can trust.
Hey, y'all. Eric Adcock's Awkward Life. Today is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026, and this is my attempt to do a podcast every day in the year of 2026. Went to Sam's last night around 6:30. It was already dark, and me and my son Jackson was walking into Sam's, and right there at the one of the handicap parking spaces, there was a door open of this SUV, and a lady was laying on her back on the ground. Her purse was strode everywhere. And I don't know how long she had been there, but it scared me, to be honest with you. It scared me, like, what's going on here? And we rush over there, and I'm sure that scared her for me and Jackson, who, pretty big guys. And I'm like, man, were you okay? Yeah. She said, I was trying to get in the car and with the truck, and my leg slipped out from under me, and I'm falling. And I didn't know really what to do, because I knew she was an elderly lady. I didn't know how old she was. I didn't say, well, how old are you? But I know that when older people take falls, it can be bad. I mean, you could break a hip or whatever, but I just couldn't leave her laying on the parking lot of Sam's at 6:30 at night. And I said, we're going to try to get you up. She's okay, that'll be fine. So me and Jackson were able to pick her up and get up on her arms and pick her up. And she was able to get in the car, and I got her purse together like that. And I'm like, do you want me to call anybody for you? And she said, no, I'm okay. And I said, what about your husband? Well, my husband's deceased. I said, do you have any kids? She said, I do, but they're not going to answer the phone, and I'm like, well, why don't you try to call them real quick? And she located her phone, and she got her phone out, and she had some missed phone call, or she had made some phone calls or whatever. And I said, is either one of these she said, yes, it's my daughter. I'll call her. She said, but she's not going to answer the phone. And sure enough, she never got an answer on the phone. So I sat there with her in the truck. I said, do you want me to call somebody to come get you, or, like that? She goes, no, I'm fine. And she said, for 81 years old, I'm just glad I didn't break something. Like, yeah, 81 years old, and you're laying on the floor, the parking lot here. But she was fine, and I said, do you mind if we pray for her? She said, no, you can please pray for her. So we did, and she said, I appreciate your help, and then we went on in the store. Probably looking back on it now, after I got home, I got to thinking about, we could have hurt, if she was been hurt, if we tried to get her up, we could have done what could have been worse. And I keep thinking to myself, did we do the right thing? And I feel like we did, but at that moment, you have to do something. You've got to do something. And so we took action and lifted her up and picked her up. There comes a time sometimes you just got to do something. You just got to make a move to save a life, whether it's a physical life or a spiritual life. I got to thinking about this. I remember having to make moves in my spiritual life to help save my spiritual life. Was it the right thing at the moment? I don't know. I don't know if I did it right. It wound up being right, but I just remember having to do things and having to make a move and cut people out of my life and move on and not go to certain places anymore, because I had to make a move. I had to do something to save my spiritual life, and you have to do that with your finances. You have to do that with your physical. You have to, stop eating at midnight, and so you have to make a move. You have to do the right thing. So I believe this lady's name was Miss Davis. I couldn't remember her first name, but she said her last name was Davis, and I'm thankful she was okay. But I'm also thankful that we just did what we had to do and get her up out the parking lot. So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and yeah. So hey, streak continues. Y'all have a great day.